Good evening, everyone. Welcome to PLO25. I'm Kyyberi. This is PokerStars.com. I'm sorry for the slight delay. I have to eat something before the coaching. Otherwise, I would be pretty cranky. So, we have few tables of PLO25. I thought about playing PLO25 today. It was such a fun last time. But before we go to that, I'm going to show you the hand that I had on the all-in shootout for the World Cup mission week. First hand, 5-9 against 5-6. Yay, I dominate my opponent, but the 6 comes on the flop, so it sucks. But I hit the 9 on the turn, which is great, and the opponent is drawing 2 outer and hits the third 6 on the river. So it was a suck out of suck out of suck out. So that's a triple suck out for my opponent, and it sucks. So no money from that free roll. Anyway, we have 3 tables open and looking to open 4th, and I suppose we're going to hop on and off the tables until we find good tables. Now I have some of the pizza in my throat, so sorry, I have to cough and sneeze a little bit. On table 1, King Jack 5-4, crappy hand, but there's 1 BB of dead money in the pot, and we have to pay 15 cents, so I'm going to limp along, see if we can hit something, and we do. Open ender with the flush draw and backdoor straight draw, and we hit the nuts on the turn, so we pot it and just pick the pot. Then we have pocket queens. Let's see what happens. The Starfish is screen player, but he hasn't played PLO25, so I don't know. Well, we have a lot of notes, so we have probably seen him at PLO50 during the sessions. Yeah, Texas Hold'em sucks. And now Canadian guy 3-bets. Whatever his 3-bet range is, we are not huge favorite, so I'm going to just fold. If I call, I just have to fold pretty much 7 out of 8 flops, so even if I know he's super aggressive, I don't want to get it in with the queens unless I have the ace and king in my hand. And if we look at the lobby, we have a lot of good tables. We have like 20 or 30 tables that have the players per flop over 35 or something. So probably going to find good tables here. Guy 3-bets, ace queen. We have position, so I'm going to call. And on this flop, we are probably ahead or drawing the 4 out at max, so I don't want to bet and someone raise me. So I'm going to check back and see if I can improve on the turn. And if they both check, I'm going to bet. Because when the flop is checked through, if they have a flush, they probably bet. So the only hand I'm losing to is ace jack that doesn't want to fold the turn. But I think I have to protect my hand a little bit. My schedule was a little bit tight today, so I haven't had any time to think about the topics that we could talk about today. One of the topics is that PokerStars changed how they treat tickets won from the FPP satellites. So normally the way to use FPP points was to play 6-max hyper satellites to Sunday Storm and then just unregister and get the tournament dollars, but that's not possible anymore. Or it is, but the first ticket won from the satellite can't be unregistered. There's a thread at the forums about it, but it's an interesting topic. And Arimetsa has made some excellent calculations that how and why you should still play the hypers instead of getting the cash bonus. The problem is that no one knows how this affects the traffic of the hypers. Now on table 3 we draw with pocket jacks and not flush draw. And we missed the flop and someone donks really small. But he's really aggressive, but we don't really have much to continue on the turn and river, so I'm just going to fold. On table 4, I don't want to limp from the button, so I just open. And on ace high, weak player donks. I'm just going to fold. Oh, we would have full house on the table 4. That would be nice. But of course, you shouldn't be results oriented. Then we have a rundown with the suited ace. And Swedish guy limps, of course, we're going to raise. Hope that the button folds so we can have the position. And we hit open-ender with some backdoors. Yes, this is the thread that I was referring to. On table 4, I think check back is fine. We can hit the 5, or we can hit the spade, or something. And if someone bets, we are pretty much often drawing to a 6-out maximum. On table 3 we have the top pair. I'm going to bet it for just protection. And we hit top 2 on the turn. Someone might slow play. But I'm going to value bet. If they raise, I'm just going to get it in. And here the opponent is 78, 56, 25 out of 9 hands. But seems to be aggressive. I'm going to check back and see if the turn helps me. And he bets half a pot. I think our flush draw is alive, and I think often ace or king is alive. So I'm going to call this. And I'm tempted to bluff here. Of course, my hand really looks like a flush draw. He's going to call if he has a pair of jacks or better. But if he doesn't have, I still have ace high. I'm not going to bluff him, he seems so spewy. Oh, and he has, how many pairs he has? three pairs, he would not have folded, and he had actually a hand this time. We always talk about variance, and in a negative way in here, if the river was, let's say, a six of spades, we would have lost the big board because he has the ace high flush draw. So we got pretty lucky on this hand that we didn't hit the spade. So one might say that we ran over EV in that hand, because if the flush comes, we're going to lose a lot of money. So on average, on that spot, we're going to lose a lot of money, and this time we didn't. So we ran good. This is a grease guy, he is green. White VIP 82, he is green. I'm going to 3-bet this guy. He has opened 38% from the cutoff, and he's min opened a lot of hands. If he 4-bets, then I'm happy to fold, but his range is a lot more than Stacy's. And of course this guy comes alone, which kinda sucks. And the flop is pretty bad, we have only a gut shot. Now when this guy calls, he probably has blockers to our gut shot, or he has the flush draw, so we have only few outs, so I'm just going to fold. $42.3, definitely a green player. Jelinek is a green player, 54 and 8. Here's the best customer on the network. So I'm going to the waiting list of him. As we saw last week on our coachings, that Greece guy is pretty good value. So if I can get to the table with him, it would be great. The tables where he is sitting suddenly has a lot of players in the waiting list, so yeah. Probably some other players have noticed that it's good to play with him. We have only bottom pair, but it's an ace high. I think it's a mandatory c-bet. And I'm going to fire the turn. On table 1 we bluffed the flop, but hit the full house on the turn. And let's see if we can get value from the Greece guy. If he raises, it's going to be nasty. But I think I'm going to get it in. I think he often has a draw or trip jacks. So I'm going to value bet against the trips. I don't think he's going to bluff his misdraws. And he hit the full house on the turn. Kinda sucks. But when he doesn't raise, I don't think he has Jack 10 that often, and we block the sixes, so more often than when he has full house, he's going to have the trips, and we get a lot of value. Especially when the river was a deuce, it doesn't hit. If the river was 9-8, king ace, I would be more worried, but this deuce is an excellent river card. On table 3, we call the min bet from the crease guy. And he checks. I have top 2, so I'm just going to get it in. That 4 sucks, but I'm going to make a value bet against all the draws. He might fold a flush draw that has a lot of equity. And we actually win the pot. He had only an open ender. Wow, definitely going to mark him green. A lot of crease players today. It's always nice. So, for those who are viewing this video but you are not a member of PokerMania or PokerImania.com, please join. By joining, you can access the chat that is on the front page, and you can interact during the coaching in real time. We have around 1.5 minute or 2 minute delay on the stream due to technical and security reasons. So when you comment about the hand, please say which table it was, 1-2 on the top and 3-4 on the bottom, and what was my hand. So when I see it here on the chat, I can find it on the replayer and easily find the hand you are referring to and comment about it. If you just say that why did you fold that and that, I have no idea what you're talking about because we have the delay. So when you type the message, it has happened 1 to 2 minutes earlier on my screen. Oh, we have a trip deuces on the table 4. I didn't notice. Down. Well, now we just have to value bet the river. And I bet full pot because we checked the turn. Someone might call with an ace king, 2 pairs. So this guy probably tilted. No, he had actually kings. Because he commented about this guy who had a runner full house against his set. This guy 3-bets all kind of trash, so I'm just going to 4-bet him. Of course, if he has aces, we are drawing pretty slim, but more often than not, he doesn't have aces. And we have SPR1, we can shove, and if he has jack in his hand, he's going to call, of course, but he has to fold a ton of his range. Now he calls with the just an open-ender. I'm in flush draw and we pick up both pots. And now when he sees what we 4-bet him with, he probably doesn't 3-bet us that much, or at least I suppose. Of course our hand strength is not good enough, but it's just this guy 3-bets 25% in position, and we have a read that he has 3-bet with Queen Jack 6, which is a pretty bad hand to 3-bet with. So, as I know that I can 4-bet, if an ace comes he folds. Now he has only a flush draw, he might be drawing pretty sim if we have aces and flush draw. Of course, against my actual hand he has a lot of equity now. But if he didn't have the flush draw, he would have folded his hand. So we have a ton of folding equity. And I like to, against these aggressive 3-betters, especially if he has position, I like to make a statement that I'm going to 4-bet him if he steals my, or 3-bets me with wide range. Here on table 3, I'm going to fold because I don't have much even backdoors. Kauris is asking how much we win money today. Well, I hope we win something because that's a lot better than losing something. Table 3, I'm just going to steal, and if he calls me with 2 pairs, type of hand we have some equity. But he's 48 and 4, so he's probably going to fold a lot of his hands. On table 2, I'm going to pot because I think that the big blind is going to fold often. He's 15 and 6. And the limper can't have a strong hand, so when I hit something, I can often decide when I want to value bet it and when not. On the table 4, the river completes everything, so I'm going to just check fold. Table 3, I'm value betting my kings. He can have a lot of draws. Now I have the nut flush blocker, but then we just try to go to showdown. And he probably doesn't have the flush, but if he has any ace, he's probably going to call the river. And well, I can hope he has some kind of cut shot that has missed. And he bets small, he's on the river. Looks like 9-10, but if I raise here, I don't think he's going to believe that I have a flush. So I have 2 pairs, but it's not good when he bets the river. This table 2, well, this looks good player, or green one, and this one. So I'm going to wait for a few more hands and decide if I keep the table 2 or not. Table 1 we hit open-ender, and I'm going to bet he's going to fold a lot of his overcards, and he's going to fold a lot of equity. And if he calls, if we hit the straight, we can get more value. And I don't have to be afraid that he raises me with the bluff. So it's pretty easy bet fold situation against this player. Table 4, the Swedish guy limps once again. I have a lot of high cards. I'm going to bet. He has fold to C, bet only one. Wow. He has played over 20 hands, but faced only one C bet. So it's important always when you have a hand. I like in PokerStars 4 that you can put your mouse over the stat and it shows you the sample size. So it's easy way to check that how reliable the stat is. This BG champ really looks like a green player. Out of 6 hands he's 83-0. Let's see what happens. We have a hand on table 1. And the Russian guy is probably away. We have 2 pairs. 62. He has a lot of draws in his range, so I'm going to bet the turn. And he just folds, which is nice. If you have any questions about poker PLO, about this session or overall, feel free to use the chat and ask. Or if you have anything to talk about, I like when there's talking on the chat. It's a lot more fun to host the coaching when I know that someone is watching. Now when the chat is so quiet, I have no idea if anyone is watching or has everyone fallen asleep. Somehow my streaming system shows that we don't have any viewers. So I have to ask that, does the stream work? There might be some problems. Now it's back to 19, so it probably had some hiccup. We have aces on table 1 and let's hope someone has something so we get at least some action, and we don't. which sucks. The table is pretty bad. There are two green players, but they are both regulars, so the green means that they sometimes make bad close-downs with overpairs, or that type of hand. So I'm going to change that. Table 1. Table 2, we have double suited aces, always 3-bet, and on this flop we bet smallish, hope he raises and get it in. We have a cut shot, flush draw and backdoor flush draw and overpair and everything possible. So it's an easy stack off. And he has worse hand, but he picks up half of the pot. He has 19% on the flop. Wow. He had a flush draw and a pair he thinks he's running good. He had only 19% on the flop, which is, it's hard to be in that bad shape in PLO. But he managed to win half of the pot, which sucks. But of course, winning half of the pot is better than losing the whole pot. But that's the problem when you open a hand like this from under the from the cutoff. Of course, yeah, he has position, but if you get 3-bet, he has to call, but this hand will often flop weak made hands and weak draws that might be dominated. Just what happened now. He probably just saw that he had a double suited hand, and for some players, if it's double suited, it's not. Here on table 2, we pick up a flush draw and a cut shot on the turn, which actually improves our hand. And this guy shoves. I think he has a lot of 2 pairs in his range. And against 2 pairs, we have enough equity. $8 into pot of 33, so definitely call. And he has kings, which sucks. He didn't have anything kings with the flush draw. He had overpair and flush draw and redo, and he overplayed it in my mind. But that's how this guy plays. He's lucky that he had 1 notch better hand than we did. On table 3, we flop 2 pairs against green player. Definitely bet. If he raises, we fold. If he calls, he probably has a diamond draw often. And that means I'm going to bet the turn. Of course, he might have diamond draw with an ace, which got 2 pairs, but more often he doesn't have it. And he had 1 pair on the flop and picked up the ace on the turn. That's what might happen. On table 2, the guy raises me. He probably has hand that beats me. I have some out against some of his range, but it's not enough. Pretty similar situations. We hit 2 pairs when there's a flush draw on the board. And this time he just folds. It's strange when I sit or sat to the tables, the players per flop was super high, and this is what happens. It goes down, and 3 out of the 4 tables is below 30 now. So table 1 is pretty bad, but we have this guy from Greece. Wow, another Greece player. 2 nitties and the money making machine. So I'm going to keep this table. And 2 and 4, what about those? This guy is greeny. This guy is green. And on table 4 we have 3 greenies. One of them is a nitty, but I will keep these tables. I don't know why this guy shoves the turn. But often these kind of players, yeah, on the flush draw on the turn, they don't really care about the pot odds and that kind of stuff. And number one, I'm going to call this Mina open. He's a shorty, so there's no reason to 3-bet and create an SPR1. If I had an aces, kings, queens type of hand, I would have 3-bet. And on table 2 we flop the top pair and a nut flush draw, but we don't get any action. I'm going to put myself on some waiting list. If I can find tables with the green players. Table 2 I complete against 3 greenies with my hand, and I hit the flush draw and the cut shot. Wow. The thing is that if they both have a set, then it's plus EV for me to shove. Oh, it's a huge variance. I'm going to call. Because I think this guy definitely has a set here. And this is so tight that when he donks, he might have a set too, or 2 pairs type of hands. And now we face a full pot bet. We have 7 outs to the flush and 3 outs to the straight. It's 10 outs. It's about 22%. So we need to get around half a pot value if we hit our hand. Not sure if he calls or not. So when he pots, if he would have bet any smaller, I would have called. Because it might be that my flush draw is dead. He might have a combo draw. And table 3 I'm value betting 2 pairs against this shorty. And against calling stations you get the money on flop and turn. And then on the river no need to value bet anymore. And he has hit his 2 pairs on the turn. Table 2 we hit the trips on turn, definitely bet. And on the river I'm going to check because the straight completes. And he has what he has. He has a cut shot. On the turn he builds up a flush draw. So he's drawing his draws when he might be drawing dead, which is a great thing when we hit our full house. Then we just print money. On table 4 I'm opening just to steal the button. And I have pretty nice structure in my hand. So if I can position against these two people, it's going to be easier to play. I'm probably going to change this table that opened to one of these tables. Yeah, I'm going to change it to table 4. I'm going to keep the table open, but as it's a table that probably has the smallest amount of action, so I'm keeping it on the outside. We have a hand on that table. Two paired hands. I don't want to 3-bet. 3-bet is an option. First I thought not to 3-bet because he might 4-bet us just to get even. Because we didn't lose 4-bet against him. But when there's this calling station, he can 4-bet lightly, but it means that I shouldn't 3-bet with these small pairs when he's in the hand. So, oh, I missed it and folded. Damn, and I would have hit the set. Oh, please, someone has a higher set, so I can sleep at night. I should have called. Oh, man. Oh, dear. Crap. Crap, 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 crap. Seems that neither one of them has hit the board, so we didn't miss that much value with the misclick. Yeah, they would have folded on the flop. But still, sucks to make a misclick. On table 3 we hit the nut, it's a regular, of course we're going to see bet against him. If we check the flop, it seems suspicious, because we would see bet this with air always. Now we hope he makes a move, and he doesn't, which sucks. Table 1, I open against the limpers. We hit the gut shot and nothing more, so not much to do when he shoves for pot. Table 1 we hit the nut flush draw. There's a shorty that might go for check raise, so no need to go crazy. We can draw our flush. And he bets he doesn't have anything here. But can I make him fold? I have to try. Because he's going to bet this pretty much with his whole range, I know it. He might have a set or two pairs on the flop, so he might have a hand. But as we see, he didn't. And if he calls me, he thinks I might be bluffing. He's never shoving as a bluff. So he might be called, and if he calls, we have the flush draw to help us 1 out of 5 times. And this time he didn't have anything, so again we flopped the nuts against 2. They are not regulars, so they probably don't have anything. If either one of them have a 6, we get the money in anyway. So I'm going to check back and hope they pick up something the turn or decide to bluff or bluff catch me. And he bets, which is a great thing. I'm going to call, hope this shorty comes along. And now I hope he just shoves on me. I'm going to raise and hope he has straight or something. If he has a 6, he's going to call. If he doesn't have, he probably would have folded on the flop. So by slow playing against recreational players, we made more money. If either one of them would have been a regular, I would have made the half a pot C, but as always. Now this table 4 is full of nits. Wow. What happens every time when I go to table it dies? So we continue to find the perfect tables. On table 1 we flop the nuts against this player. I'm going to bet and give him an opportunity to do something stupid. And when he calls, he probably has gut shot, set, 2 pair, all kind of hands that he's probably going to peel the river. But he just folds. Nah. And we pick up a top pair, gut shot, and 2 backdoor flush draws. And he raises us. I'm going to... I have only 1 overcard. I'm going to fold. If he keeps raising me, now that's a second raise. If he keeps raising me, then I just have to adjust. But when it's just a second raise, it's not a tendency yet, so not much I can do about it. Of course I can call and hope to hit something on the turn, but that's not a good reasoning. And on table 1, half a pot C bet when we totally missed the flop. He has folded 100% to C bet so far. And he does it again. King Jack. We are 200 bps deep with Unipack, so I'm going to call. If we get a flush versus flush against this player, we are probably going to win at least some of the money. Of course, we are blocking the only flush that might lose a stack to us, but who knows? And then we just wait and wait. A similar type of situation, again we have 3 Broadway hand. Now we have ace jack suited, which is better than ace king suited. And we hit top 2. I'm going to donk bet this. And we hit pretty much the nuts. On the outside hand, I made a hero call on the river, but the guy had a flop set, he slow played it. Turn quad, he checks it, and on the river he bets, so not much I can do. And on table 3 we value bet river with the second nuts. If he raises, it would be sick. He probably got the straight on the river, that's why he's thinking so long. And my bet size is pretty big because he shouldn't have any ace king in his range that much anymore. So either he has trips or straight or missed flush draw. And here can smashing man, well he's so tight that I'm going to see bet this flop. And he shoves on me, so I'm going to give him credit. If he pots here without the 9, then it's really bad. He's risking $13 to win $7. So he probably has the 9 in his hand. I thought about check back, but he's so tight that I don't think he's going to make any semi-bluff raises against me that often. On table 1, we flop the queen high flush draw and a lot of backdoor equity. So I'm going to check back the flop. I have no idea what kind of opponent I have. So he might check raise me with a lot of hands. So I pick up the top pair open-ender and flush draw on the turn, which is great. And now we can bet. He calls and we hit. Do we hit anything? No, we don't. We hit 2 pairs only, so we check back. And he had, wow, he has cut shot and top pair, middle pair. So for that call, I'm going to give him the green color. Table 2, we have a hand. Let's see if we hit anything on the flop. We do. We have the top 2, which we value bet, of course. And we pick up the pot, which is nice. We have our community meeting in about 2.5 weeks, 9th day of August. So all of you are welcome to join our community and join the community meeting. It doesn't matter even if you are a foreigner, you can always come to sunny Finland. If you're from Finland and you are watching this, but you are not a member of our community yet, please register and join so you can join the community meeting. On table of 3 we have nothing, and here the grease guy 3 bets us. We have pretty poor hand, but we are deep. I'm going to pass. There's a huge reversed implied odds, and as we know, he might be overplaying. Like aces, we have to get it in often when we have weaker hand that he might actually dominate, so I'm not going to put myself into that position. Table 4, we're going to 3-bet the machine man. And he goes to tank. And folds, which is surprising. And now if the champ bets, I'm going to call. When he checks, I'm going to bet the river. Value against smaller 2 pairs. Now he had higher 2 pairs. He had it from the flop. I thought he might, or he pick up on the turn. So I thought that he might have 7-9, 9-3 type of hands. So I value bet the river. It's a thin value bet, but against this type of player. As we see, he calls the flop with the top pair and a cut shot. Yeah, with the 15-hand sample, I can say he's tied. I can't remember what I referred to, but you can definitely say someone is tied if he has played 1 hand out of 15. Or I should say, he is probably a tighter than a loser. So he's not probably a loose aggressive player. Of course, we don't know, but it's probable, and we have to play by probabilities. Here on table 2, we 3-bet this champ, and we hit the pretty nice. Well, the problem is it's an ace high, and we have 3-bet. So he probably thinks we have pocket aces, and he might fold a lot. So this time 3-betting backfired. And then we just wait once more. We have another grease player on the outside table. Wow. Is it a national holiday in Greece, or what's the situation? Aces on table 1. Woo! And on table 3 we got a 3-bet from Sorty. We have position, so I'm going to call. We have Jack-10-7, which is pretty connected, and if we had a flush draw here we could call, but when we don't we just have to fold. Although we had a cut shot, but it's not enough. And he's a shorty, so there's no folding equity in raising, so we can't semi-bluff him. And we pick up a top pair. Definitely I'm going to see, but it makes it a lot easier to play the turn. And he calls. I'm going to bet the turn again. And then I'm going to just check the river. And if he bets, I might actually call. Because his river aggression is 64. 7 out of 11. And he bets 1/3 of the pot. And he had only the flush draw. So easy money. Now once again all my tables have dropped down. So I'm going to check these tables with good percentage. I'm going to put myself into the waiting list. On table 3 I'm going to check the flop. But now I'm going to just bet for protection. I would be surprised if either one of them has an ace when it goes check, check, check. But now I'm probably going to lose. Yeah, I had the flush draw. I'm going to call his 3-bet. And now I really would like to shove this flop because he can't go with aces. And I have the cut shot and overpair in case he has 2 pairs and he inched the shoves. And he has 2 pairs, which kinda sucks. Then I just have to check out. Without those 2 pairs, I think with pair aces he would have hard time to call me. So I think it's an okay raise. But of course this time it really looks bad when he has the top 2 and aces never folded, and we got the money in a pretty bad shape because he had a higher overpair, so we were drawing to 6 outs. He had even our backdoor flush draw covered, so we were in a very bad shape, if you can use that word. Well, at least we run good and hit the miracle on a big pot. So sometimes you might do a good decision, but the opponent just happened to have the hand that crushes you. And we know that 1-3-bet earlier that has gone to showdown, he has ace king queen. Then if he has a high rundown, he probably is going to fold it. So this time he happened to have one of those hands that he can easily stack off. But I think about 90% of his range he just has to fold or get it in when we are in a good shape. Third table, I don't know what hand sequence Steven is referring to. Now this is a problem. It has happened a couple of minutes ago on my screen. I can't remember. So if you can say what was my hand, I can give you some ideas of my thinking process. I think you are referring to the hand when we had only the ace on ace-jack-jack board. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's somewhere in this hand. It all goes down of how we construct his range. We know he's 62 and 12. And on this flop, he decides to call. Well, he might have ace king, he might have aces, but when he is calling pretty light, he has a lot of draws in his range too. Turn is total blank and we bet. If he has set of aces or kings or ace king, I would suspect him to raise here. So when he calls, his hand looks like a draw. I don't think if he has something like ace 7, 5, 5 type of hand, like a bad ace, or of course we beat it. If he has ace queen, he might have ace queen 10 that he's beating off, or he might have even ace king. But when the river pairs the board, if he has ace king, he wouldn't bet it. I'm pretty sure he would check it back. If he has ace 7, ace queen, any ace, he's going to check back. So the thing is that when he bets and this small, there aren't a lot of hands that it would make sense. Of course, if he has random deuce in his hand, he might have deuce 3-4 with the spade or something like that. Oh, we flopped the quads on table 4. Opponent can't have pretty much anything. Seems like a recreational player, so I'm going to check back and hope he picks up something. But I have to bet the turn in case he has something to create a pot. So this is never a value bet with better hand unless it's a trips or full house. He's never betting ace king. We have actually ace 6, so we beat ace queen, which I didn't even notice in the hand because it wasn't relevant. But if he has ace king, he wouldn't bet here. So if he is value betting deuce or full house, he would value bet bigger. So I really think this is often a bluff with the missed flush draw or missed straight draw. And it's so cheap. If he bets here like $12, I would fold. But half a pot or smaller, I'm going to call. And yes, it's a bad spot to bluff. But he doesn't know it. On table 1, we have an interesting situation. We just called the flop, so he doesn't give us credit for full house. Our hand looks like a straight. So I'm going to make a small inducer on the river. The only hand we're going to lose is set of kings, which he might have, but like now he had the nut flush that called us. I thought that if he has like total air, he c-bet the flop, or actually donked the flop, let's say 9-10 type of hand. I make a small inducer to give him an opportunity to make something stupid, like he wants to raise us with total air. He thinks we never has a full house when we just call the flop, or something like that. And it's important that we give these thinking players an opportunity to do something stupid. On the outside table, we are going to probably have a big pot. We are at the button, so we are 100 bps deep, so I'm going to 3-bet it with full pot and create a situation where it's going to be easy for me to play, easy for my opponents to play, but I think I'm going to end up in a winner in the long run. And we flop flush draw and a cut shot. Of course we are getting it in. And I just have to bet in case someone wants to shove with smaller flush draw. And no one has anything, so we pick up a 40 BB pot. 60 BBs, which is great. Now I have actually 7 tables open and green players on everyone, so I'm not sure which one to close. Let me see if someone, there's one table that has flop percentages of 12. Yuck. Yeah, I'm going to close it. And we lost big pot there. We 3-bet opponent calls with ace, king, deuce, deuce, or 3-bet and flops the set. Wow. Nothing you can do about it. Oh, lucky he was a $10 shorty. And we get the money back on the next hand. We had a draw against his straight and we pick up a higher straight on the turn. So in our community meeting at Riihimäki in sunny Finland, you have an option to taste my delicious burgers. I'm going to make them. So if you want me to make you a burger, PLO burger, just let me know. Send me a message at Skype or via forums, so I can gather up some ingredients. Here on table 2 we have a pretty nice situation, not flush draw in a 5-way pot. And it's important that in this spot we don't get too aggressive with our draw, because we want to keep all the smaller flush draws alive. And now I just pot the turn, because if someone has a flush or set, they are always calling. No matter what I bet, I represent the flush. So I'm going to get the maximum value, and Jepsen insta calls me. Now we just hope that someone does something stupid. We have the 7 of hearts, so the only hand we are going to lose is 3 deuce of hearts. So I'm going to pot the river and hope he has a queen high flush. And he folds, he probably had a set or 2 pairs. If he checks the flop, I think he has 2 pairs often. Here's a move, 53 and 0. I'm going to give him a green color. It's 17 hands, but 53 and 0, even from 17 hand, indicates a good customer. And now I close 2 of the outside tables, so we have only 5 tables open. And we have a 15 to 20 minutes left, so I'm probably going to keep these tables unless they totally die. I have a feeling that we have made some winnings so far. And we are probably running a lot over EV, because we sucked out the one 6-outer. But as we have seen, what I think might not be the truth. It has gone both ways. If there's someone who is watching this PLO night for the first time, the idea is that I'm going to play PLO25 or 50 depending on the funded bankroll. Here Hansen has... Oh, his 3-bet, 4-bet range is so wide that I'm just going to call. I can't make him to 4-bet anything else but aces. So the idea is that members of our community can fund me with the bankroll. So it's a crowd-funded bankroll. Interesting turn card, because it's a pairing turn card. It's a great card for him to barrel, but it completes the flush. So I'm going to check back. And Jack is such a bad card. If he would have bet, I actually don't know if I'm going to bluff catch that Jack or not. If the river is a blank, I'm going to call his river bet always. But now when he checks, I'm just going to check. And he had the quads. Wow, he tried to trick me on the river. He definitely should have bet the river, because I don't have a full house ever there, and I'm not going to bet my small flushes. So the bankroll is crowdfunded, which means that each week members can send me the money and it's their share, and then I'm going to play with their money. It's sort of staking, and then we just split up the winnings. And after each week, members can decide if they want to increase the amount, cash out some of the amount, or keep the same. And it works pretty well. I'm quite happy for the idea. It's something totally new. I haven't seen it anywhere else. But it's a great way for members to get a almost free coaching and some excitement during the coaching, because it's their money. Every time I win a big pot, they win too. So if you want to join this mayhem of fun, just register to our forums and find the thread. We have aces on table 2. We get one caller and we flop totally nothing. But I'm going to c-bet because it makes my life easier. Not blockers, but against this guy, totally useless. If he bets the river, I'm just going to fold. And he got the trips on the river. Lucky him. On table 1, I'm going to bet my 2 pairs. We block pretty much all of the 2% sets, and we don't want to see any turn or river. Top 2, I'm going to pot raise and get it in against this player. The only problem is that this guy might ruin my plans. And if he calls, he probably has a flush draw. So from this point on, it's pretty easy for us to play perfectly. If he shoves, I'm going to call. We are blocking kings and nines. He shouldn't have pocket deuces that much, so he top of his range often is aces with the flush draw, and we are flipping. On table 1, we saw the turn, so we're going to showdown, and he had just a gut shot. Wow. On the turn, he picked up another gut shot and a flush draw, so on the turn he had a great hand. Here the turn is blank, so I'm just going to pot it. And on the left table, I'm going to pot the turn, overpair and 2 pairs. And they both fold, which is a nice thing. We don't have to see the river and guess if we are ahead or behind. So we have pretty nice stack on the left table, table 1. And almost as nice stack on table 3. And 5-5-3. I'm going to make a half a pot c-bet. But he donks. I'm just going to fold. I have no idea what kind of player he is, but even if it's 1/3 of a pot or a little over it, I'm going to give him a respect. I'm surprised that Hansen calls unless he has the 5 in his hand. If Hansen folds the turn, then I don't like his play at all. And table 2, I make a slightly bigger c-bet against Jebsen, who is sort of calling station. And table 3, I'm value betting my overpair. And he has runner, 2 pairs. Wow. Oh, he had 2 pairs on the turn. I'm going to give him the green color. Of course, it's a 3-bet pot, so he's calling the turn, but pretty much any of these 2-pair cards isn't good for him. Here I'm going to check, because Sir Daddy, when he calls the flop, the only hand I can beat is some sort of king, queen, jack. And I have one jack in my hand, so I'm just going to check. And here the crease guy raises me, which really indicates he has a 3 in his hand. He has bluffed a lot of turns, but he usually doesn't raise when someone bets. And I'm going to call the Hansen, because when he bets the river, it's pretty much a bluff. And if he has a jack, then I think he would call me. I'm actually going to raise him, because I have the blockers. Of course, it's not pretty consistent, because I would have raised the turn with my straight, but he probably doesn't have nut straight. So what he might have, he has the bottom straight. We want the pot on table 1. So the problem here is that when I raise, if I had a jack, then I would have raised the turn. So what I'm representing is some sort of 8-10 type of hand. Of course, I might have the jack then, but I know he doesn't have a jack then when he bets so small on the river. And he probably doesn't have 8 then, he would value bet bigger. So either he is making a thin value bet with 2 pairs, or he's bluffing with a busted draw. So that's why I raise him, and he just has to fold a ton of his range. Table 4, we had aces hit the flop, but no action. We hadn't have any action on flop set of aces today. That is sad. And on table 2, we had a set. We put the turn and river, it pairs the board. Jebsen probably has a misdraw a lot of times. Against that, I'm not getting value no matter what I do. So I'm going to bet big in case he has ace king, king jack, aces type of hand that he wants to bluff catch me. Of course, I could bet smaller, but he's such a call happy player that I opt to bet full pot. I hate when this happens. He had only a 7, so he's drawing pretty much 2 outer on the turn. Of course, 9 gives him a straight, but he hits his 2 outer and he's a shorty, so he gets the. It's not a plus EV call for him or her, but this time he won the pot. But I hate when it happens that someone hits two outer when they made a sort of really bad call on the flop and then they just got lucky on the turn. This guy from Russia has donk bet 3 out of 4 times. And now the Greece customer 3 bets us. And we have to call. I'm not too happy about it. He has a lot of hands that can dominate us. Now he probably shoves and this guy calls with the flush draw or something. Oh, he bets all in. And he has just the kings with the flush draw. Oh, he had a cut shot too, but... oh dear. Would be nice to get some action to the last 10 minutes. Sort of grand finale for the session. But it seems that there's not much going on the tables. Now, again, he c-bets full pot against shorty, and when the shorty shoves, he has to think. It tells me that when he made a c-bet here on table 1, he didn't know what to do if he shoves. Oh, he has 2% flush, so I don't know why he's low rolled. But when he has to think, it just tells that probably he made a pot c-bet because he thinks he has a great hand, and when opponent shoves, he started to think that is my hand great after all. So every time this happens, I know for sure that the player doesn't have a good thinking process. But he is PPIP 69 playing from the mobile. It's not a surprise. On table 2, it would be in a heads up or nice spot to give pressure to the regular, but when there's a green player, I'm not going to do anything crazy. So I'm just happy to fold. He should c-bet $3 or something. 375. It'll be too much in my mind, but if he has a 6 in his hand or aces, then it's fine. Looks like we won't have any nice big pots on the last minutes. Going to play a couple of more orbits and then we close the session. Oh, we have a 3-bet from Sir Daddy and a 4-bet. Wow. If we would be 100 pp's deep, I would actually shove here because they probably both have aces. Which means we have a great, but we are 200 pp's deep with Unipack. So I just has to fold. Ugh. I don't want to have a 200 pp flip here. And on table 4 we get the money in with the top set, which is nice. Then we just hope it holds. And they both have aces. And we would have lost the pot. Wow, on table 4 we have a pretty big gamble. Probably someone has a set, someone has a draw, yeah. And our hand doesn't hold up. Well, at least we win $20, but yeah. So we lost only around $7 there. We have 33% on the flop, which is great. Yeah, there's a set, there's a wrap, and this guy has bottom and open ender, and the guy with the worst hand wins. How many times that happens? And here shorty shoves, we have the top pair, so of course we are calling. And he has only an open ender, but he got the set on the river. So we had a big hand in the end, too bad we didn't win it. So I think we are going to play the final orbits after this hand. And then we can close and see where did we end up. And seems that this guy from Netherlands is just gambling for the last amounts of money because he lost there with the set of tens. Let's see what happens. We flop 2 pairs and open ender and we get it in and see what he has. And he has aces, so we are favorites. until we actually hit the flush on the river. So his higher two pairs is paper against our powerhouse. So we got something back, which is nice. Table 3, I'm c-betting over pair, and I'm betting turn for value. He has a lot of hands he's going to fold, and he might have jack-queen type of hand. If he has two pairs, he's never folding it on the river, so there's no point of me betting. And he has pocket aces. Jesus Christ, I'm going to give him actually the ace lover. So he's just like, this is the problem when you slow play your aces. He doesn't 3-bet 3-flop with two pairs. On the flop he has only a bluff catcher, he calls. On the turn he has only a bluff catcher, he calls. If I bet the river, would he call the river? And when he is going to call down with aces on this board, he's going to lose so much money. So that's the problem when you turn aces into a bluff catcher when the board is pretty wet. Like there on the river, he hopes I'm going to check back the river. Would be nice to know what does he think if I bet the river big. And we're going to play one more hand. I'm going to open up my poker tracker and find today so that's the result for today. Wow. You're going to see it soon. And last hand we have nothing. So here's the results for today. We won 2 buy-ins, but we ran 2.5 buy-ins over EV. So that's pretty strange, because I remember only one hand where we got super lucky. But yeah, this is the hand where we got lucky, and since that, well, we have won something, but we have run under EV on the last 100 hands. Not sure what to think about this. It's on the big blinds. Let's make it on the dollars. Not a good session. We have pretty much been playing break even on average of minus $10 or $15, and heater in the end. Well, I don't complain. So the overall results was 46-65 winnings, and we'll run good once again. So that's for me. Thank you for joining, and those of you who understand Finnish, welcome on Friday. You can watch the Finnish coaching on Friday even if you don't understand Finnish. It doesn't matter. Now have a good Wednesday and hope to see you all on Friday. Have a good night and sleep tight. Bye bye.